Oh, this. Oh, yeah. This. Oh, how does this work? That's it. Headlines first. I'll just make the announcement and you start, inshallah.
I'm here. I'm here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, this is the beginning of a series of lectures covering the blue book, Al-Qaa'idah Al-Nooraniyyah. It will be a weekly class after Salat al-Isha on Wednesdays, inshallah. Today will be the first day of the series of classes from the beginning to the end of the book, inshallah. Today we will be covering the letters only. Names, identification, and pronunciation of the letters. Our Sheikh Muhammad Nasser is going to be helping us with the lessons and the YouTube. Is the Google Classroom that we're using? Will be up very shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to hand over to the Sheikh to begin the classes for us, inshallah.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أما بعد. Inshallah, we begin going over the blue book, Al-Qaa'idah Al-Nooraniyyah. And no doubt this book is, subhanallah, a book that I believe Allah Ta'ala has put a lot of barakah in it. And there's no such thing as someone who's studied this book enough. Subhanallah, one of the, I believe, Allah Ta'ala, when it comes to recitation and what I feel has improved my recitation tremendously is because of the amount of times that I've taught this book. Every time I teach this book, I feel that my recitation is more and more precise. Because this book, subhanallah, it is like an exercise for the tongue to pronouncing the Qur'an correctly. So this book, An-Nooraniyyah, whenever people ask me, what do you advise me to practice my proper recitation, my Qur'an, I want to perfect my recitation, I say one thing, the blue book. Keep going over the blue book multiple times. And we start with the letters, because the letters is like the bricks to the house when it comes to reading a word. If you're unable to pronounce the letters properly, then inevitably you will be unable to pronounce the word properly. Being able to pronounce the letters properly is very important, because when you recite the Qur'an, one of the goals is that as you're reciting, is that you give every letter its proper right. So first I'm going to read each letter a few times and then you guys can repeat after me. Bismillah, we're going to start with Alif. 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 Common mistake people make, they say here, they say Alif, not Alif. Bottom of the throat. Alif. 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 Ba. 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 And the ba comes from the tongue. I mean the lips. They meet. Ba. 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 And if you want to test where does the letter come from, who knows what to do? You make the letter what? Sukoon, and you put before it a alif or hamza, right? So if you want to test where does the ba come from, what do you do? Put a hamza before it and make the ba sukoon. Abi. Abi. So you see that it comes from where? The lips. Abi. Ba. And be careful, I'm saying ba, not ba. 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 Next letter. Ta. Here. Tip of the tongue behind the two front teeth. Say at. At. You can say at, not at. 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 Ta. See how it's light? Ta. Ta. Next letter. Tha. 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 Where does the tha come from? Tip of the tongue is between the top and bottom teeth. How do I test it? Ath. Ath. Tha. 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 Jeem. Jeem. Here becomes saying jeem, not jeem. Where does the jeem come from? The middle of the tongue touches the what? The top of the palate. Aj. 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 Not the side of the tongues. A lot of people they say aj, not aj. Aj. Jeem. 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 Go over from the beginning. Alif. Ba. Ta. Tha. Jeem. Alif. Ba. Ta. Tha. Jeem. Who wants to read it? Who wants to read the first line? تفضل.
ألف.
Not alif. Alif.
ألف.
نعم.
با.
جيد.
تا. ثا. جيم.
أحسنت. Who else wants to read it? تفضل.
ألف.
Not alif. Alif.
ألف.
Good.
با.
Ba. Extend it. Don't say ba. Ba.
با. با.
Ta. Good.
Next one.
Tha. نعم. Jeem.
جيم.
أحسنت. جيد. Next line. Ha. Remember here it becomes saying ha, not ha. Middle of the throat. Ha. Say ah. Middle of the throat. Ah. Not ah. No. Ah. You should feel in the middle of the throat. Ah. Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahim. Not ar-Rah. Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Ha. Ah. Who wants to say it? Someone who didn't go. Naha. No. Ha. Good. I want the middle of the throat. Who wants to say it? Naha. Ha. Ha. نعم. Kha. 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 Where does the kha come from? The top of the throat. It becomes saying not Kha. Kha. Not kha. Not kha. Kha. Dal. Dal. Here be careful from saying dal. Big mistake. Not dal. 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 Where does the dal come from? Tip of the tongue. Ade. Ade. Where does it come from? Tip of the tongue is behind what? Two front teeth, such as ta, at, ad, ad. Is that clear? Dal, dal, dal. Here, the dal, the one that has a dot, where does it come from? The tip of the tongue is between the top and bottom teeth. So we have dal, and then we have the dal. We see the difference? Ad, 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 ad. Who can do the difference? Ad. That's the dal. And what about the dal? Ad. Naam, the tip of the tongue should be between the top and bottom teeth. Ad. 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 Dal. Not dow. Dal. Dal. We see the difference? Next line, next word, next letter. Ra. 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 Here the ra is a slight roll. Ra, ra, ra. Ra. And the ra, be careful from saying raw, not raw. The tip of the tongue should not be going backwards. It should be going towards the what? The front palate. Ra. Because the palate, we have the hard palate, we have the soft palate. The hard palate is where? On top of the two front teeth. Feel it with your tongue. It's hard. Go towards the back of the palate. It's what? Soft. Is that clear? So the ra, ra, ra should be towards the what? The hard palate. Ra. Remember, keep saying ra, now ra. Ra. Ha. Kha. Dal. Dal. Ra. Ha. Ah. Ah. Kha. Akh. Akh. Dal. Ad. Ad. Dal. Ad. Ad. Ra. Ar. Ar. What am I doing when I say that? When I put it ra and ar, what am I doing? When I say dal ad, why am I doing that? So you can what? So you can feel the makhraj. Feel it. Is that clear? You feel it when you put the hamza before it and you make it sakin. Next. Za. 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 Sin. 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 Sheen. 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 Sad. Heavy. Sad. Sad. Dad. 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 Za. Az. Az. Sin. As. As. Sheen. Ash. Ash. Sad. As. As. Dad. Ald. Ald. Go back to the beginning. Alif. Ba. Ta. Tha. Jim. Ha. Naha. Ha. Kha. Dal. Dal. Ra. Za. Sin. Sheen. Sad. Dad. Ta. Ta. Here. Now if you want to test it, what do you say? Alta. 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 Be careful saying ta, not ta. Not ta. 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 Say ata. Ita. Utta. Ta. Ta. Common mistake people they may say. They say what? Ta. They turned it into a what? Ta. Is that clear? No, there's no there's no tick. Ata. It's more like a what? Like a bounce. Is that clear? Va. 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 The ta, the one without a da, tip of the tongue is behind what? Two front teeth. Ata. The va, the one with the da, the tip of the tongue is between top and bottom teeth. The same thing as what? Ta and tha. Is that clear? Ta, va. Dal, dal. Do you see that or no? Ta, va. Ata. Av. Ta, va. Ta, va. We see the difference? Va. Tip of the tongue is between the top and bottom teeth. Ain. Middle of the throat. Ah. Say ah. A'u. A'udhu. A'u. Ain. People say not Ain. Ain. Middle of the throat. Ain. Ghain. Ghain. Here, be careful from saying ghain, not ghain. Say al. You see that constant flow? Al. Ghain. Once you say al, you just turn it to a what? When you give it a click, what you turn it to? A qaf. Is that clear? So ghain has no what? No click. What do we say? Ghayril maghdubi. Ghay, not qay. Is that clear? Al. Ain. Ghain. Fa. Where does the fa come from? Two top teeth. It's touching what? Bottom lip. F. Ta. Back to the beginning. Ta. Alta. I want you to feel where the letter is coming from. Is that clear? Va. Av. Ain. Ghain. Al. You can keep going. Al. That's the ghain. Is that clear? Ghayril. Say ghay. Ghay. Also the ghain, be careful from saying ghay, not ghay, ghay. The ghain is a heavy letter. It's mufakham. Is that clear? So it's not ghay, it's what? Ghay. Ghain. Is that clear? Yes. Naam. Fa. F. Alif. Ba. Ta. Tha. Jim. Ha. Kha. Dal. Dal. Ra. Za. Sin. Shin. Sad. Dad. Not Dad. Dad. The Dad is the heaviest letter. So we're not going to focus too much on it. Inshallah, with time we'll get it. طيب. Arabic is called Lughat al-Dad. The Arabic is called the language of the Dad. Maybe the Doctor wants to explain that after we finish the letters. Ta. Va. Ain. Ghain. Is it ghain or ghain? Ghain. Heavy or light? Heavy. Fa. Qaf. Qaf. Qa. Aqa. Is it qaf or qaf? Which one? First or second? I'm going to say it again. Qaf, qaf. First or second? Second. Because the qaf is a what? Heavy letter. Is that clear? Common mistake people make, they say qaf. Is that clear? Qaf. Kaf. 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 Ak. Kaf. Common mistake people here, they make the kaf heavy. The kaf is never heavy. It's always what? Light. Common mistake, Iyaka na'budu. Not iyaka, iyaka. Is that clear? Wa iyaka nasta'in. Not iyaka. Kaf. Lam. 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 Mim. Mim. Where does the meme come from? Two. Where does it come from? The two lips. Noon. Noon. Qaf. Aq. Kaf. Ak. Lam. Al. Mim. Noon. An. Wow. Wow. Ha. Here the ha. Ha. Where does it come from? The very bottom of the throat. Ha. Ha. Hamza. Hamza. Ya. Ya. Wow. Ow. Ow. Ha. Where am I going? Where does the hamza come from? Bottom of the throat. Where does the ha come from? Bottom of the throat. You should feel it. Both of them coming from the bottom of the throat. Hamza. Ya. Ay. Ya. Ay. One last time we read it. Alif. Ba. Ta. Ta. Jim. Ha. Ha. Kha. Dal. Dal. Ra. Za. Sin. Shin. Sad. Sad. Not sad. Sad. Remember, sad. The dal has a al-qalah, has a bounce. Is that clear?
Fatha, kasra, and dhamma. Fatha is the vowel that gives the a sound to any letter.
Sure.
So you.
Can you start explaining that from the beginning because it sounds.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. The Shaykh was teaching us how to determine where the makhraj, the point of makhraj means point of articulation, meaning the point in the place in the mouth or in the throat where the force is at the time of pronunciation as a point of articulation. The Shaykh was teaching us how to determine where that sound is coming from, where in the mouth that sound is coming from. I picked the letter ba. It's not showing up, but I picked the letter ba, the second box. I preceded with a hamza, and I pronounce and I make that ba itself sakin by putting a sukun on it, by cancelling any vowel for it. I pronounce the whole thing as ab. Ab. When you say ab, look in your mind where the ba is coming from, where the force is when you say ab. When you say ab, and the ba part of it is coming from the lips. Therefore, you say its makhraj is the lips. Ab. Ab. Next one is ta. I precede it with an a sound, and I make the ta sakin and I pronounce it as at, at, at. Can anyone tell me where you think the ta is coming from when you say at? Where do you think the ta is coming from when you say at? You may have to close your eyes and imagine what your mouth parts are doing when you say at. Can anyone tell me? Yes, young man. From the tip of the tongue. Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah. So yes, so when you say at, you can see what the tip of the tongue is doing with the front part, where the teeth attach to the gums. You can see that the tip of the tongue is touching that part. That is the makhraj. At. Next one is the tha. I ask you, what is the makhraj of tha? Then you do the same test, precede it with a hamza that has a fatha and the a sound, and make the tha sakin, and you say at. Imagine in your mind what the mouth is doing when you say at. What the mouth is doing to the tha when you say at. Who can tell me what the makhraj is by using that test? Who can tell me the makhraj of tha when you use that test? Anyone? You've answered before. Let someone else answer. In the back. Exactly. Therefore, thank you. Therefore, you say that the makhraj of the tha is what? The tip of the tongue slides outside between the teeth. It slides just between the teeth. At. Correct? Let's do the next one. Jim. I make jim into a sakin. I precede it with the hamza that has a sukun, and I say aj. Everyone say that? Aj. Imagine, close your eyes and imagine for 1 second where you think the jim is coming from when you say aj. What part of the mouth is pronouncing the jim part when you say aj? Anyone tell me? Anyone? Yeah, so it's the tip of the surface of the tongue rising close to the surface of the roof of the mouth. Aj. So it's the surface of the tongue, the flat surface of the tongue doing the pronunciation. Aj. And jim bounces. There's a qalqala with it. It bounces when you say aj. So anytime jim has a sukun, there's a slight bounce with it, not so much. But it gets a tiny little vowel, which the Sheikh will come to in future classes, inshallah. Maybe the Sheikh wants to go over it one more time before we close, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah, we can repeat
no,
one time.
I'll take this.
One more time, inshallah, and then we'll end class, inshallah. Alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, dal, zal, ra. Before we continue, as you guys see, do you know why we're extending? Ra, dal, dal. Why are we extending? How do I spell a dal? Look, on top
How
of
do you
letter.
spell the dal?
It says it. Dal, alif, lam. Every letter has its own spelling. Is that clear? So, what do we say when we say dal? The alif is elongation. So we're elongating. Dal, what are we elongating? The alif in the dal. How do I spell dal? Dal, alif, lam. So why are we saying dal? What are we elongating? The alif in the dal. Ra, how do I spell ra? Ra, alif. Why am I elongating? The alif in the ra. Is that clear? And elongations, we're going to go over it in future
Yes,
lessons.
inshallah.
But this is just important to understand that each letter has its own spelling. And each letter has its own what? Some letters have elongations within them. That's why we're elongating them. Now, next one. Za, Sin, Sheen, Sad, Dad, Dha, Ain, Ghayn, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon, Waw, stop here inshallah. Homework, write down the alphabet 3 times. Follow the Telegram, follow the Google Classroom. Submit the homework in the Google Classroom. Homework is to what? Write down the alphabet how many times?
3 times.
And inshallah next week we'll be going over lesson number 2. Barakallahu feekum.
Sorry, one second. This is also for the sisters. This is a homework for the sisters as well. Please post your homework on Telegram, and one of the teachers will be going over the homework. For the brothers, whoever, if you're unable to use the Telegram, you can still bring your homework on paper to myself or the Sheikh, any of the other teachers, so we can grade your homework before next week. 3 times each letter, inshallah.
Now, lastly, again, we advise the brothers and the sisters, have a commitment to finish. Because inshallah, bi'idhnillah, I can give you my word that if you finish this entire thing, you will see a huge difference in your reading. And if you want a proof of that, ask the people who finished the book with us. Ask those who actually finished the entire book with us, see the impact that I had in their Qur'an recitation. And again, as I'm here teaching you, the reality is I'm here, this is a practicing for myself. Practicing, strengthening my makharij, strengthening my practice for my recitation. The more I do the blue book, the more stronger I become in my own recitation. And this is something that I'm telling you truthfully. The more you do the blue book, even if you know it, the more times you do it, the more precise your recitation will become. I'm telling you this from experience.
And wallahi, I second that also. The more I do the teaching of the blue book, the more precise I get, the better I get, the more educated I get in teaching it. So it is not to be looked down upon in the least bit.
That's cool.
بارك الله فيكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك